Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. Well, I thought that this was going to be a quiet Friday. Not any real significant economic news. We do have some Fed speakers, and they're all trying to get their speakers in before the blackout period starts. So we do have that. But man, overnight Israel attacked Iran, and the market is just all over the place. I do think that this will just kind of be a spike of volatility that should die down pretty quickly. But in the meantime, it might provide some, let's say, interesting markets. I don't know if this is going to be a market that we want to trade or not. I guess we'll just kind of have to see what the volatility is like. But and I'll remind you that, like, when I come in here, I've read what's gone on overnight. I have an idea about how things are moving. This is the first time I've looked at a chart. So let's go and see what the damage is over here. Yeah. Well, we got some rollovers first for soybeans. Yes, we would like to do that. Right here. Okay, so here's ZN. Ooh, yeah, that's a massive spike higher. This was where we were earlier, like last week, when we were all afraid that Israel was going to strike back, or was it when we were afraid that Iran was going to attack in the first place? So we're not quite as high as that, but that's a pretty good spike, and yes, most of it did come back. So very interesting. And we had a pretty decent decline there. I think that decline was off of Bostic's comments. I don't know. I kind of feel like, I don't know. The market always seems to be behind on the Fed speakers things. Like, the Fed speaker says something that, like, I'm already expecting them to say, but then they'll overreact to it. And it's really weird sometimes. But anyways, okay, so here's the S&P 500. Really big dip there. Actually, we should take a look at that on a daily chart. Ooh. Okay, so they kind of touched that, what is it? 100-day moving average. Went right through it, but they have completely recovered the decline in the S&P 500. Oil, same thing. Oil jumping $3 and then coming completely back. Gold and silver. Well, gold and silver had big jumps as well. Copper just kind of doing its, man. Copper looks so bullish. That is one of the most beautiful bull charts in a commodity I have ever seen. But if I'm running a momentum fund, I really hope I am long copper. Okay. Japanese yen saw the flight to safety jump as well, but it has completely back. And remember, they are not happy about the Japanese yen kind of struggling here. So, and interestingly enough, not that big of a change in the dollar itself, though. And then Bitcoin. Oh, okay. Now this one is really freaking weird. All right. So, 2 days ago, Bitcoin was looking pretty awful. So yesterday, there was a pretty decent rally up to 6,400. And then off of all of this whole thing, Bitcoin, which again, remember, Bitcoin is and behaves as a risk asset. So when things get scary, they sell Bitcoin. It's not a flight to safety asset. They sold all the way back down to 6,000, and now they're already buying it back up. I still suspect that there is heavy manipulation going on in Bitcoin over there. So they are printing a lot of Tether over there to keep that thing up and going. All right, so most of those moves did retrace. And just looking at the 10-year, well, the liquidity is a little bit lighter than I would expect, because we were pushing like 3s and 4s sometimes this week, right? There is this kind of like 1953 at 04 half seems a little weird to me. So, yeah. it might be a little more slippery than usual, but so far that behavior looks pretty quiet. So this may actually still end up being the sleepy session that we were possibly concerned about. Well, or hoping for, I don't know. Kind of feel like I was hoping for it because I kind of want to do some programming today. Do you guys want to do some programming today? How about we make a poll here? Engage with your audience. Start a poll. What should we do? And let's pull new shell up here. Oh, there. Okay, close. Huge risk off overnight as Israel attacks Iran. No news Friday. Fed speakers ahead of blackout period. What there? Thought to double check there's not any. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Earnings season next week. So the bulk of the S&P gets going. So right now we're still kind of in an equities blackout period. That buying could start to come back. Although it kind of depends on, you know, like the overall market economic conditions, because I think that there is some belief that valuations are a little bit strained, and the ergo, when you get into earnings season, that some companies might disappoint. You know, like Netflix disappointed last night. Talking along. Well, I think that on our flows here we need to add JPY intervention still on the table. So that makes it a little bit hard for me to do like kind of my sort of, oh, it's quiet, I'm gonna pick a position here and then hopefully should be able to swing it sort of a trade. Because the chances of like a big flow coming in either way and really screwing you up. Although I think that if we were to get like a big flow that came through, it probably would be more likely to be long. So. Have you ever tried to program a spreading strategy, like let's say based on standard deviation in the spread between the bonds together with delta volume per var? I keep thinking about this one. No, I don't think I understand what you mean. The standard deviation in the spread between the bonds. Oh, I gotcha. You mean like the yield curve spread between the bonds with the delta volume per bar. I've messed around with that a little bit, I would say. But I don't think that I've ever explicitly made a backtest with the bonds. Like when I say I've messed around with it, it's more like I follow the spread, I have thoughts and feelings about the spread, but ultimately I find it very difficult to predict which way it's going to go on a short-term basis. Now, there are supposedly some high time frame momentum strategies that you can do with the spread, though. So we could potentially, I do want to look at those. I don't think that Ninja Trader would necessarily be the best way to do a test of that sort. It can do it, but it's a little iffy. I kind of have to build a couple of things and you know, have some cash to bring in some outside data in some instances and so forth. But let's come in here. What should we do? Watch this. Watch. Or not watch it, but what were we gonna say? I don't think you're gonna take any trades today, so let's just say watch the market. Program better candlesticks. And then what else do we got over here? Countdown timer I really want to do, but that's not for the stream because I would have to do so much learning during it that I don't think that people would be able to follow along with that. So. Moving point of control strategy. And option 4 could be well, maybe I can just be other. I'm going to put document pre-indicate. I do not have that all done. I'll start a poll. We'll leave that going for like maybe 10, 20 minutes. Next week is probably going to be a quieter week. So remember, okay, the kind of like the setup we've got in terms of news is a little bit unique here. We should talk about this, okay? So let's pull up Forex Factory and move it to next week. Okay, so next week we do have some manufacturing PMIs and advanced GDP and core PCE price index. Okay, so no A tier or S tier events, but a couple of decent B plus events. Okay, and then the week after that, you get the Federal Reserve meeting and non-farms at the same time. Now this is kind of weird. This does happen from time to time. And every time that they do, there's always a lot of speculation about, does the Federal Reserve actually get the non-farms number at their meeting before it gets released? And I think that there is some evidence to suggest that they do. I think they've even been asked about it and kind of played a little bit coy about it, though. So that's going to give you an interesting setup to trade next week, because the market might think that they know what's going to happen with the non-farms based on what happens in the Federal Reserve meeting. And this Federal Reserve meeting is likely to be a bit more hawkish than the last one, I would think. It's a little hot in here today. Thinking about if I want to do anything about it or not. It's probably because the heater's still on. So I have to like close the vent at night and then open it back up in the morning. That's frustrating. Let's see here. Well, so far the flows have been on the short side. A little bit of selling in the 30-year, but nothing too extreme, so. Let's give. Already looks like you guys got a pretty. I think that the moving point of control strategy is going to win here. But I'll give it a few more minutes. We got like what, 12, 13 votes? Oh, that's about half of you that have voted. So I give it a little bit more time. That's because I opened my big mouth. Yeah, maybe it is. They all remember from when we talked about it from yesterday. Content is content. Need to get my button gear this weekend and finish that other video. Well, I got the rough cut of it done. I just want to add like you know, some editing, flare, zoom ins, and like B-roll film. So I need to watch it through again and get some better ideas on B-roll. Or maybe I could try and use more AI this time. I don't know. In the meantime, we should probably come over to Twitter and see what we got going on. Okay, the inflation we are seeing is the direct and intended result of a premeditated policy decision. I think at this point, that's false. I think that the Biden administration is following economic policy given to them and promoted by Team Obama, essentially, and taking it to its extreme, which is essentially like just stimulate the economy by running a wide deficit, essentially. And you're kind of seeing why. I think that what you're seeing is just another example of why modern monetary theory is just not a very good idea. I do kind of wonder, like, at some point, you have to bring that deficit down. And how do you do that if interest rates are so high? And the only thing that you can really do is you do kind of need inflation, right? You need inflation to be able to inflate that deficit away. And so how are they going to do that? It's going to be painful. Do we think stuff will hit the fan over the weekend? Well, so we got played a little bit, didn't we? Because yesterday I was here saying at the beginning of the stream, well, the latest news that we got is that they don't want to do anything until after the Passover, and that when they do something, it will be like fairly limited strikes. And then, you know, the very next night they went and they did something. Now, I would say, though, that these strikes still appear very limited. The market is cooling off very quickly because this looks like the same sort of a thing that Iran did. I honestly, I wonder if the Biden administration had been more supportive of Israel and wasn't constantly like undermining them behind their back, practically. That's kind of how I feel it's going right now. Is the Biden administration doesn't like anything or support anything that Israel wants to do right now. And so I wonder if that was not a thing, maybe they wouldn't have felt the need to attack this time. But now Iran said that they will retaliate much bigger. Okay, well, we'll see. Because the attack that Israel did was very limited. It was basically like they took out some air defense, basically. But I understand, like, from a strategic perspective, what's going on here is the Iran attacked Israel and threw like everything that they could, and Israel's defense system handled it no problem. And so then Israel turned around and destroyed Iran's air defense systems. So they're basically like, look, our defense systems work and you can't do anything to us. Your air defense systems don't work and we can do whatever we want to you. So like maybe cut it out. But the problem is Iran already said stuff, so they kind of have to do something, and then Israel's going to kind of have to feel like they have to do something back. Like it does kind of seem like escalation is baked into the pie here, right? Like, but I try to be optimistic. I'm still think that it will blow over. Bigger picture, I don't think that either Iran or Israel want a wider conflict. The Iranians have to be looking at this here and being like, this is probably not a good idea. Dude, this is starting to get a little scary for us. Just media war. Well, I tell you what, the Iranian propagandists were definitely out there. Can't believe that there's like Iranian propagandists out on social media and stuff, but there is. And I've seen clips from like these analysts and so forth trying to make this out into like, oh, this was so good for Iran and so bad for Israel. And oh man, the spin. It was crazy to me. But only crazy to me because I didn't think that there was anybody that we would hear from or talk from the West that was like a pro-Iranian shill, but apparently they are out there. And in fact, a lot of people on the Democrat Party are kind of inclined to feel like that, you know, rooting for Iran, basically, which is like, really? Oh, okay. Right, I think that what I'm going to have to do is turn, because the heater is definitely on right now. I'm going to have to shut that vent and open the window. if I ever move, one of the goals I think would be dedicated climate control for the office, and maybe like a separated server. Like, what if, like, with this area behind me here was actually like a glass window, you know, with like soundproof glass, and like all of the server stuff was on the other side of that. That'd be cool. And then that wouldn't get the heat into the rest of the room. All right. So anyways. Well, okay, so we got 26 votes now, and it still looks like you guys are largely in favor of the moving point of control strategy. So let's do it. I think I want to create... No, not like that. I want to create a new big window like that. And make this a little bit wider. Well, let's navigate to it first. But I have to put quotes around it because there's spaces in this. Doesn't like that, huh? Okay. We'll make the files over here in the editor. I think that I have over here. Let's see. Do I have a point of control or a moving point of control? Actually, in my free indicators, there is a point of control, isn't there? Yeah. Prior date, volume profile levels. What platform do you use for trading? I am using Jigsaw Day Trader for my entry and Ninja Trader 8 for my chart. So it's been a while since I've used this indicator. Let's see what my indicator does. Does it do a moving point of control? What are you more interested in? Let's start it on the treasury. Let's start it on the treasury. 1 minute. Treasury chart. No. We use our own. We use our own. That way I can like bundle it all up for you. Oh, okay. That's not working because I need to enable tick replay. There we go. No, it didn't like that either. Does it not like it just because the cache folder is not there? Oh, wait, I don't need that. New text documents, profile levels.csv. Yes. See if that fixes it. No? Well, first of all, we don't want this one. We just want the point of control. So I'll turn those to transparent. I think that it will still do the problem though, yeah. That's curious. Data series. Oh, I bet I know what happened. Yes. Okay, so is there anything in it? Oh no, it's not. It's not there. I made profile levels over here. That doesn't do anything. It went into cache and it probably made a profile levels. Yeah. Yes, it did profile levels and wrote a bunch of stuff when it didn't have tick replay enabled. That's what happened. Gotta close that now. Wow, you've done a lot, Smitty. Wait, what did you write that all in? Now it's telling me you're accessing an index with a value that is out of range? Why would that be? There we go. Okay. So it does show me the previous days. It just charts the previous days. So what we will do here is we'll make a new indicator called SPS developing POC. Generate. Then we'll take all of this and we'll copy it over to here. So we will call it developing POC. See if that compiles. Okay. So all of this stuff up here is probably fine. We don't, well, let's close it over here now. Developing point of control. Oh, I found it right away. Awesome. Okay, so on all of this profile stuff, okay, calc value area is probably called developing point of control, cache path. I don't think that we need any of that. Actually, no, we do. But let's call it Okay. We only need one plot. Session iterator, probably we do. Import. Okay. On market data. Okay. I have this set to only do stuff on the first tick of a bar. Oh, you wrote it in C#. Okay. Is NinjaTrader also a broker? Yes, it is. It used to be that you could use NinjaTrader with a wide variety of brokers. If you purchased NinjaTrader at that time, you are basically grandfathered in. But otherwise, they've made it really difficult to use NinjaTrader without using them as a brokerage now. Like, they've kind of shifted towards NinjaTrader is this thing that we use to drive business to our brokerage. So that's why I have such a bizarre setup, because I don't have a license that gives me the brokerages that I need. I have a developer license, which is really cool and does allow me to do some things that like, it does give me multiple brokers and stuff, but it just doesn't give me that particular rhythmic. So anyways, so this is telling me that if the current day of the week, so this is telling me to only switch things at the beginning of the day. Gotcha. So I don't think I need that. One thing is, this doesn't give me the IntelliSense. They've acquired a couple of brokerage firms too, like Trade of 8. And when they bought Trade of 8, I was quite shocked, actually. Yeah. Okay, so this part that ticks that percent part, we don't need that. I'm going to delete that. Okay, it is calculating that point of control as we go. And all of this is related to the value areas, so we don't care about those. So I can delete those. I think here that I just say value, POC of 0 equals profile for my profile dot POC value, like that. What are we coding today? We're going to code a strategy that looks for a moving point of control to do something. All this stuff right here, I don't think, well, I can pull it up from the other indicator if I want. So I'm just going to delete that stuff for now, okay? Some of this stuff like new day and export and import, like I do think we will want that because for backtesting purposes, it'll be so much faster if we can just cache it, right? But we're going to have to change it because I think that it's set to cache like on a day-by-day basis and not like a minute-by-minute basis, okay? Cache path. Okay. We should see NinjaTrader try and there we go. Compile on the save. Okay, got a couple of lines here, so I'm gonna move this over to here so that I can come in here. So to go to those lines, I just type the line 12 and then GG. Okay, yeah, we don't need that. Next one is BAH does not exist in the current context. 155. Oh, yeah, okay. Basically, I think that what I will do is I will only have it write the data at the end of the day. Oh, I guess I don't need those. Try that. Hello, NinjaTrader, wake up. Wake up. Oh. Being used by an external process. Okay. Percent and value area high. 123. Oh. Yep, we don't need that. And then 170. Oh, yep. What does it think is using it? Oh, right here. Send. Okay, it compiled. Do you think it will work? I don't think it's actually gonna work, but let's see. It's probably gonna give me like one of those bars out of range sort of errors. Or maybe I'm not creating the profile at the beginning. That could be another one that could screw it up. Okay, it did something. So up here in the on bar update, my profile dot POC price, not POC value. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Okay, it actually is working. Now, first thing is, what is my plot here? I'm doing plot style.hash. But what is it gonna be? You know what? I like to do everything through my my fancy text editor, but some of these things are gonna be a little bit easier to do over here. Okay. So this plot should be dot hash dot line. That what we want. Hold on. Line. Better. Okay. Now, coming back to here. So where's on bar update? Right there. Prior day volume profile levels. Yes, this one right. So there was this section right here that was like, you know, is it on the on bar update? No, it'll be in the new day part, probably. No, export, no, probably not. Import. There's going to be something that says, if today is not the previous day. I guess it's this one. Right here. Then my profile equals new. Where did they get that? Do I make it up here? Profile, my profile. Where does that get instantiated? Oh, right here. Will that screw some things up? Oh, let's see. No. Yeah, when you're looking at point of controls, you're not looking at yes. What's happening is we are not resetting the profile at the end of the day. So this down here. Oh, that's locked further down than that. Oh, this is what I wanted right here. Oh, did we? Oh, I was missing some stuff. Okay. We need this right here. There we go. Plus, it maybe didn't build, so probably when I reloaded that, it didn't change anything. Okay. Okay. So that introduced a bug, probably. Oh, that's weird. Accessing an index with a value since it's out of range. Oh, okay. So probably the issue with that or current bar. If current bar equals 0, return. I don't know why I put a little space there at the beginning. Yeah, it says 0. Why is that? Oh. If not current date of the week. Okay. It was basically resetting the point of control on every bar. Okay, that's a little bit better. So now, and we could also, let's see here. Where do you do it? Is it in data series? Trading hours break line. Why am I not seeing that? There we go. Okay. And now you can see that on the trading hours break, it shifts and resets everything. Okay, cool. Okay, so not perfect. We're going to come back to that and maybe do some caching stuff later. But that gives us a developing point of control. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to detect when it's changing. So what are some things that what would be the best ways for us to detect and trigger when it is changing? What I would like to see really is something that's consistently moving up, because if it's like it moved up a little bit and then it's been flat for a really long time, that's maybe not so interesting, you know? I've got so many options going through my head that I'm just not. So like one of the things is, okay, I can just put a moving average on it, right? But all that would do is just smooth it out, right? And what we care about is that it's changing and that it's consistently changing in a certain direction. So I wonder what happens if I put CCI on this. Hold on. So what was it called? Is it in these TGN ones? Adaptive CCI v2. But instead of ZN, my input series is going to be my developing point of control. Let's see what that does. That does not look like what I expected it to look like at all. Rate of change would be interesting too. Let's try that one. Because I have this one, I think it's somewhere in here. It's like rock volatility. Yeah. Let's try that one. Rock volatility, but then again, the input series will be speculator set free, developing control. Okay. Interesting. For some reason, this bar right here, when we change, gives really heavy volatility. What's with that? That's really weird. Why would that be? The value resetting. Well, yeah, I don't know, because shouldn't a shift like that create a larger rate of change than otherwise? But maybe, let me find it over here. Does it do stuff with this session? Does not. At least not from what I can tell. least I know my brain goes the right direction. I'm a little perplexed by this, to be honest. Hmm. So I think what you would want here is rate of change is persistently above this line or something like that, right? I don't know if that's the indicator to use that particular one. 'Cause, there is a rate of change that is like, yeah. Let's see that one. Get rid of this CCIT. 'Cause I don't think that one was working. I see. It just reads that change as really big for some reason. Yeah, CVD wouldn't work with this. We need something that is kind of like a volatility indicator sort of. I haven't messed with this one in a long time, but APX might do it. And while we're at it, let's do ATR of this. That is not what I expected to see on ADX. But maybe that's because they just need the number to be. Like on this ATR, I would expect this to be practically zero most of the time. Okay, well, let's change these around a little bit. Let's make these like 60. There you go. That's more like it. That's more like it. Wait, so if I go back here, there's two other ones that I'm thinking about. I don't know why they're coming to my mind, but I'm just gonna run with it. So there's like a built-in CCI, isn't there? Yeah, built-in CCI. Let's use that. Also, isn't there like a Fourier series or something like that? Fisher, maybe it's a Fisher transform. What will that do? I don't always trust NinjaTrader to calculate based on indicators. I don't know why. Okay, the Fisher transform is really weird. But maybe that's because I needed to change the period to be like a 60 minutes or something like that. So I think ADX is showing me what I want to see the best. Another thing that might be interesting is like, what is it called? MACD. So when it calculates based on indicators, it can sometimes do some weird things, but I'm definitely getting something weird here where I think that what's happening is that I set the developing point of control price to be 0 and then it immediately gets set to be something else. And maybe it's reading that somehow. I don't know. Okay, so let's try and deal with that. Okay. Close that one. So right here, I'm saying, and this happens on bar update. Oh, okay. So am I saying, oh, it calculates on each tick. Okay. Okay, over here, I was doing a check that was like, if is first tick of bar, right? Is first tick of bar. So I think that I can say, if is first tick of bar, and then this whole thing here only happens, or no, is first bar of session. No, actually, I don't like any of that. weird that it does that. Okay. EOC of 0 equals close of 1. Does that change it? Yes, it does. Okay. So that's what was going on there. Because it was like temporarily setting the point of control to 0 and then moving in. And so that was like screwing up a lot of these indicators and stuff. So if we come back over here, like on MACD, for instance, you get like an impulse and an impulse. But if we change these to be a lot bigger, like 60 and 30. There you go. Never gets too far though. Yeah, MACD's not the way to do it. Okay, so I've been in my head a lot. Let's come over here and look at what you guys have been saying. Like it. Well, when you're doing calculations based on another indicator, that can sometimes be introduced a lot of, especially if you're doing it on volume profile things, because it's like adding another series underneath and all that sort of crazy stuff. So ADX does a good job of telling me that there is trend, but it doesn't do a very good job of telling me which direction the trend is. And that's where I kind of thought that rate of change came in, right? But we kind of gave up on it. I'm going to put it back on here. Because rate of change is directional, right? Yeah, why does it look so terrible, though? What is the normal? Is the normal rock one built in? Too much going on in my head. It's hard for me to even like click things. Rock. See, that looks better. Remove that. This rock. Change it to a much larger time period. There you go. Yes. Okay, so we got two ways of looking at it. I think that that's good enough for now. What do you think? So let's come back to our Ninja script editor, I think, and make the strategy. We're going to call this moving POC. And this developing point of control is in a weird namespace, so we want to add that to our using declarations. Using speculator set 3. And then here at the top, we're going to create our thing. So we're going to say ADX my ADX, rock my rock, and SPSF developing POC my POC. Surprised that all worked so far. I'm getting a move here down. I'm gonna check my financial juice here, make sure that that's running, because I haven't heard anything coming from them in a while. Okay, instead of configure, we want this to be on data. Oh, not on, but data loaded. My POC equals SPSF developing point of control. That cache path shouldn't be a variable into it, but I want period. Oh no, wait, we don't. There should be no. So we need to come over to this developing point of control, and this cache path should not be an integer. My ADX equals ADX. My POC, comma, period. And my rock equals rock. My POC, period. Okay. Public int period get set on bar update if rock greater than 0.5, was it? Yeah, it's greater than 0.5, and oh, not rock, my rock. If my rock of 0 is greater than 0.5 and my ADX of 0 is greater than, just gonna guess, 25. 25. Enter long. Enter short. Okay, and what we actually want here is we want ninja script property public double rock threshold get set. Copy this and say ADX threshold. And this 0.5 will be rock thresholds, negative rock threshold. Okay. Period. 60 rock threshold. 0.5 and ADX threshold. Oh, ADX threshold is 25 and rock threshold is 0.5. You seen? I think I have. But I don't remember a whole lot about it, to be honest with you. So unless there's like evidence-based stuff in there, I don't really care. I guess the real thing is that I am just like adamantly anti anything price action. So there's a lot of, you know, what would we say, well-meaning people out there. But I'm just not into it. Okay, so I'm going to just do this month. And I have to use tick replay because of the way that it is right now. I don't have the privilege to see this kind of a chart. Well, that's because we just programmed it, so don't worry. What we're doing though, oh my gosh, this is so many freaking windows here. This right here, this yellow line is the point of control, and we've created a point of control that kind of moves. So when it changes, then you see where it changes, and then we've added some indicators on here so that we can tell when the point of control is changing a lot. Now there's kind of this issue that like when it moves big time, you know, like big jumps like that, that's going to affect it. But hey. Okay, so doing that back test, it only came up with one trade. It was on the short side, but it totally worked. That is not what I expected. I thought it would take way more trades than that. Like that right there. Oh, you know what? Because I said rock needs to be 0.5. That's maybe a little bit too much. Like let's change rock to be like 0.3. Is it possible? I will put it up later. But you've seen all of the code. You could make it yourself if you really want to go back and watch the whole stream, right? Now we'll post it in the Discord. Still only 2 trades? That's just way too picky. Better. Okay, so it took more trades. Well, the win rate on that ain't very good. Okay, because it took a couple of long trades there that did not work out. But hey, we can sort that sort of stuff out later. I'm going to close this window for now because I've got like too many windows open. I'm just going to move this one over to here. And we're going to come back to this thing. So now we're going to work on the caching. If has data date. So let me review here what I'm doing. I am checking to see if we are in a new trading day, and I'm resetting the volume profile. And if it's not, then I, look at what the point of control price is right now and set that to my value. But if I am caching, then I don't do that. So if has data, double array data equals cache date. Oh, do I still have cache in here? What is cache? Yeah, it's an array. It's an array of doubles. That's fun. Okay. We don't need that. It can just be a dictionary of date times and doubles. Okay. So we only have one value that we're pulling out. So then here on this, we can, instead of saying this double data, yada, 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 we can just say POC of 0 equals our cache value. Else. No, this is C# programming. Okay, now I have this new day part right here. Point of control 0 equals my profile dot point of control price. Date time, export dates. Add the data to the cache. New profile. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. That's where I'm gonna set it in the cache. I don't want it to be writing things all the time if it doesn't need to. Also, don't necessarily want it to load the whole, like if I'm going to do 5 years, I don't want it to load like everything into the cache, right? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bit right here, move it down into this new day part right here. And this is going to just call new day, previous current. I don't even know if I need those variables still, but blah, yeah, whatever. I don't know if that is necessary, actually. Okay, this right here is probably not needed. Well, that is needed. Right text, new stream writer. Plus 8. Okay, so we get the day, we write, or we create a stream writer, right? And then for each double in, actually, how do I for each over a dictionary? C# for each dictionary. Yes. For each key value pair, date, time, comma, double, right? Yes. Entry in cache. Entry dot key, entry dot value. Okay, wait a second. This bit right here. String. Oh, no, we don't need to do that. Do some memory stuff here. Oh, yes. Okay, so I need to recreate the cache here at this point, right? X, ink. Hash equals new dictionary. Okay. Oh, we don't need to export it every day either, do we? What a boring session for World War III scares and all. Yeah, it is. It really is, right? But I feel like we kind of called it, didn't we? Like, there's going to be risk offloads. There might be some volatility, but it's probably like contracting volatility. So they're like really likely get stuck in things. Okay, so here's where we got all this new day stuff. So the first thing is that I just need to set things on a new day a different way. I actually think that this new day bit right here should be like, I don't know if I like that line, so get rid of that line. Okay. So it exports and it resets the cache. This is wrong. This export should be previous. Import burns. And this bit right here should be an import. import. Oh, that's interesting. I'm creating the folder. Okay. Is there like a system.io dot what's the best way to determine if a file exists before you start doing something? Am I using file IO up here at the top? System.io I am. Okay, I know. String file equals folder plus hash path plus date, right? Date plus dot CSV. Is that what we had over here? Hash path, date, CSV. If file, oh, actually, what is it? If file dot exists, file name, change this over here, that's file name. Then we try doing the import. Okay, so we always reset the cache. If the file exists, then we pull them all in. If it doesn't, then okay. Using stream reader. This new stream reader. This bit right here can be changed to file name, string line, while line, read line, int comma equals line index of date time entry date, parsing it. String doubles. That I think will still work. This bit I don't think has to happen. Huh. So I think this comma plus one says find the first comma and then to the end of the line, right? So then double data equals double dot, let's see. Always have to look up these sorts of things. Oh, convert dot to double. Equals convert dot to double, and then the string doubles. And I think that all of that can go away. So we just get entry date, comma data. This I need to use this thing up here. Where is it? Data.tryGetValue. I hate it when I forget to change modes. Double val if this right here should be underscore cache dot try get value. This will be a date time, so this will be time of 0. Out val if his first tick of bar else if his first tick of bar else. You got to think about my logic here. So there's some things that I only want to happen at the first tick of a bar, and then there's some things that I want to happen every time, essentially. So if it's the first tick of the bar, then I look to see if the value is there. But I think that should be fine. I was trying to, I got to think about, like, Is it the first tick of the bar or the last tick of the bar and all of that sort of stuff when you're using tick replay? And sometimes it makes my mind go to mush. Takes a little bit of time for me to think through it. Because this part right here, where we set the value and we actually, you know what? We should only ever be doing this stuff if it's the first tick before. Like that. Okay, so if it's the first tick of the bar, then we can come in and we can look at, like, do you have value? Oh, actually, that would be a problem because then, oh no, but this on bar update will happen every time that there's a tick. So that would screw it up when it's running live. So we just have to have these two things. We just have to have else like that. Just say if it's not the first tick of the bar. C of 0 is my profile .c price. But we won't set the cache, the value of it in the cache. We'll only do that if we get to the first tick of the bar and it's not. Now that might need to be the previous bars thing. I can think about that in a second. I don't think I want to use that anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to write all of this, and let's look at the errors first. Okay. No, I changed that. I guess I didn't change that. Okay, you know what? I guess I do want that. Let's go back and grab that bit again. Oops. Space. There we go. So this is just saying on market data, we skipped all of this if there actually is like stuff. But here, I don't need this current bit. I can just change this to time of 0. Oh, I didn't need all that. Dirt. I think that if I was like all I did was stream programming, that would be super effing hard because it's really hard to talk about what you're doing sometimes and think about it. Oh, I see. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Like, there's going to be so many stupid and embarrassing bugs in this, I bet. Well, I can get it to compile. I bet you, though, that when I hit refresh on this, that the Ninja script output is going to output tons of errors about dumb things that I've done here. Yeah. Error exporting data to file. The given path format is not supported. Goolsby is speaking right now, so you might get something in the treasuries, although it's probably going to be to the downside. What is with the sad trumpet from Uzi? Oh, on the errors. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, oh, right, or is it log? I forget how to C# right. Oh, sorry. Ninja Trader right console. Print. Print file. Put this back over here. So I got a bunch of things here. What do we? This I will bring this one over here and this one over here. There we go. And the output window. Where is that? That's here. Okay. Aha. Okay, so there's your first problem. So, oh, funny. Okay, so I think that what we actually want the name to be is cache slash oh, right here. The date plus cache half. And date needs to be just the date. Now, how was I doing that in the old one? Because in the old one, I was just grabbing the like overall headline date, wasn't I? When I wrote this. Oh, I was never getting just the day. Did I not have one where I was just pulling just the date time bit? Well, maybe not. No. Okay. Think that I can do this and say string date equals date time dot to short date string like this. Oops, I forgot the period. Dot too short yet. Are you coding it, Dom? I wish. Too short date string. Okay. So that's better. It only does it each day, so that's cool. Oh, that's weird. It actually does it multiple times. I've actually done this in some of my other files. Maybe I should pull it up, that code, but that'd be cheating. Some of that code is even more fancy than this, so I don't think I should show you guys that one. But why would it say that I can't write to a closed text writer? That's interesting. Equals new stream reader, right? Oh, that's not, it's not on import, it's on export. Am I getting my using statement wrong? Oh, why do I have it up there like that? That's weird. Could it just be because of that? It might just be because of that. Now, why do I do this finally? Why did I do it that way? Why didn't I just use a using statement? I don't understand. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it still says this right text doesn't exist. Streamwriter WT. Oops. If I change that, will it now it tell me no, WT doesn't exist? That's weird. Okay, so first of all, why am I using WT? Stream writer equals new stream writer. Stream writer dot. See, why does it not recognize? Is it? Got to be doing something really stupid. Oh, yeah, I'm doing something really stupid. See, I had a. Come on, where are we? That'll fix it. Okay, let's try that. Da-da-da. Oh, now that's interesting. It did it once over here, and then, but I think that the import is wrong. I think that the import is wrong. But the first thing that we want to check is, okay, now if we come to our cache, right, and sort it by name, and we come in here to, what will it be? It'll be like with the date. There we go. 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. And then we open this up. What's inside? There is a date, time, and numbers, and sometimes the numbers change. Okay. So that looks good. There might be some offset issues and weird bits like that, but that appears to be exporting the data correctly. So why, let's take these other indicators off for a bit. Right. So like, oh, it gave me some more errors there. What's this? An item with that key has already been added. Okay. So that was the kind of error that I was worried about, right? So now what's going to happen is we're going to say, let's say that it is the 15th, the very first day that's on here. I think it might be. No, that's the 14th. Here's the 15th. Okay, so let's say that it is the first time that we switch. If current day of the week does not equal previous day of the week, new day. Date, time, date. I don't know why I'm doing that. Let's get rid of that. Don't need it. Okay, export the previous and import the current. So I think we need to debug this one. I think it's time to bring out the debugger because I'm not exactly sure where it's breaking at. I did change this, so we'll write that. This is not the first time I've debugged something on this machine, so why is it telling me to download the SDK? Which 4.0? Is that what it said? Oh, hold on a second. Download for .NET Framework 4.8. Oh, here it is right here. What happens if I don't update it? Oh, that works. Did that really work? I'm a little suspicious, but attach. F5. Da 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 da. An item with the same key has already been at. Oh, down here? Wait, where is that coming from? That's weird. Wait, what is it not like about my formatting? (2024-04-14). Okay, so let's come back to. Do we have it open? This one right here. Okay. And it is 16:02 p.m. So the first value that it wants in here, huh? What's in our cache? There's already a ton of stuff in our cache. Wait, hold on. That makes no sense at all. Where is it getting the data from then? Cache equals new dictionary. I get the date in the folder. If the file exists, use the stream reader. String line. Read line. Add everything into the cache. Oh, I see what's going on. Dark, 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 dark. That's a really simple bug too. Some of these are the dumbest. Some of these mistakes that I've made today are, you know what? If for like a beginning programmer, it would actually be kind of good to see some of these mistakes. Is that like sometimes it's just like the simplest little you missed something here or there. So what's happening this time is that when I'm doing the import, I am importing it, or sorry, when I do the export, right? I always export it. That's what's going on. So I need to have this thing over here where it's like, if file dot exists file name, except for that we want if it doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, then we do all of this. File doesn't exist, then we write it in. Create it. This should be like false. 2. This append bit. Where's my cursor? Sometimes my cursor's being a little weird. That's get rid of that. So then on the import, do I actually need this bit? I'm gonna get rid of it. Because if the file's not there, it's just gonna error out and it's gonna, you know. Oh no, wait. Import. If it's the first time, it's just not gonna find it. And then it will say, oh, you didn't find it. So I don't necessarily want that to throw an error. Okay, try that. This, oh, we can continue here. Continue. Stop debugging.
Connection lost.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're actively using NinjaTrader while you're debugging. Kind of all stops. Okay, so so we're gonna still have that issue because those files are still gonna be there, right? So close the Excel file first. I'll save. Delete that. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, so we're screwing some things up because now the point of control is not moving around. But let's go and see what we've got in those files now. There it goes. Oh, okay. Interesting. So now it's loading them all. If I don't save the changes, or at least it's saving all of the data correctly, I think now. If I refresh this, I would just double check that that bug that we just had isn't there anymore. Okay, it is not. It only does it once. But it's not actually getting all of the correct values, I don't think. So... If has data time of 0 return. No. I don't think it should do that. It should do, well, I remember adding it back in and being like, oh, actually, I like that, but it's really, that's probably why it's doing some crap. Why would you look at order flow if the trades can trade through a dark pool or they can hide your trades? Well, I think that the reason why you might think that's a problem is because you have a completely different and incorrect view of like what we're actually trying to do with this data. So what you're probably trying to do is you're probably trying to say, well, I want to look at what other big players are doing and then copy them, or that's somehow going to be like a reflection of something else that's happening in the market, right? But what I want to understand is, what are the orders in my market, right? If I'm trading at 29 here, I buy at 29, it's because I expect that at some point in the future, there will be other people buying at 29.5. In order for that to happen, orders have to come into my market. So it doesn't necessarily matter what happens in the dark pool. The order flow that I'm seeing is still going to be useful over here for me to understand why the price of my market is what it is. Right? Now, what happens with dark pools usually is you have this big block and you go and you trade it in the dark pool, okay? Like those are two big guys trading with each other. And usually what it is it's a big guy trading against a market maker. And what that market maker does is then he turns around and he goes to the market and he sells that at the market, right? So it's basically a way of large, normally big trader like that, they would call up Goldman's desk and they'd say, hey, we want to execute this block trade and yada, yada, yada. And then you have to talk to the traders and you do this whole thing, right? But what if you could automate it? What if you could turn it all into a market? That's what a dark pool really is. So you go and you do it at the dark pool. These people that they market make with, they turn around and they sell it on the real market. And they just know that they can sell it in the real market at a better price than, what they bought it for in the dark pool. So somebody using the dark pool doesn't really affect what we're doing at all. Or like another way of thinking about it is like, okay, if I'm doing dark pool, okay, do you think that I could sell in the dark pool right now at 28.5? No. What happens is there's like this really big spread, right? And there's these guys out there that they're saying, I'm willing to buy like X amount of it, right? But you can't see. All you can do is you can say, I want to buy this much, and then, it trades at the price that it trades. So if I go on the dark pool and I sell at 28.5, right? I'm actually probably selling much lower than that, right? And then the guy that bought it turns around and he says, okay, now I bought this. I bought it for 25. Now I'm going to sell it on the open market. And as long as the impact of me executing that sell is better than the 25, so that, you know, by the end I net sell it at 27, then I make money. How can you know? Because I made the dark pools. Yes. I didn't make the dark pools, but I worked on the dark pools. So the reason, so here's another thing. Let me tell you something, okay? Whenever a rich guy is coming out and saying, hey, this isn't fair, it shouldn't be, yada, 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 they don't actually have your best interests in mind. So when you had this thing where these guys were coming out, these big guys coming out and complaining about dark pools, it wasn't because the dark pool was bad for you or something like that. They're just trying to convince you of that so that you'll complain enough to try and get the rules changed so that it can be more in their favor. What they hate is that a really, really big bank can execute more efficiently using the dark pool than they can execute. And so now everybody wants to go and do their stuff through that bigger bank that has access to the dark pool. Or they're trying to, you know, sit and snipe these orders, and they don't want to be a dark pool block trader, right? But ultimately, it all gets reflected in this actual market, and all I need to do is predict the orders that are going to come into my market. Now, maybe sometimes you can have your market slip down on very little volume because all of the orders pull, right? But I can see those orders pulling, and I can see that's happening and go, oh, okay, and adjust for it. So the dark pools don't affect us at all, right? It would affect somebody if your strategy was, I want to watch everything that goes through this instrument, and then based on that information, somehow it's going to predict the future. Then I could see why you might think that the dark pool is a problem, because there's a certain amount of data that I can't see, right? But when you look at it from the perspective of what matters is the orders in my market. Why are the orders in my market coming through? Well, I might see that we're coming down on very little volume. There might be some situations where I might be able to say, oh, hey, maybe that's happening because of something that happened in dark pool, but usually wouldn't work like that. You know what I mean? Okay, where were we? Did I delete the files? I think I deleted the files. Let's refresh. Okay. Oh, it's time for me to get going soon, actually. Aha, I fixed it. So I'd have to do a little bit more debugging and refinement to make sure that, like, it's actually picking up on it correctly, and that it's not, like, when I run it through the second time. So if I clear this and I F5 here, well, it's going to print that. I guess I need to put the print statement in a different spot. But I need to verify that it's not trying to import and export it every time. And that I can, you know, kind of reduce the overhead as much as possible so that when I'm back testing it, it'll be fast, right? And then we could go back and do our strategy over a year or two or whatever. Okay. But it's time for me to get going. So I'll see you guys Monday. Hopefully should put out a video on Monday, I think. But in the meantime, stay excellent.